was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.
Hello, party people. Sean, there you are. You are back. I'm so happy to see your face. And wow, okay, we got Mark Rizzo. Was I think we recognize that name? Is that correct, Sean? Yeah, I wish I could hear you, Sean, but I cannot.
Sorry about that. Mark, were you here last time? I don't remember.
I think he was, but it's funny. He calls us Gentiles, and my question would then be, Mark, are you sure that we are Gentiles? We could be Jewish.
Yes.
That's funny. So, Sean, do you do we want to do a little warm up, or do you want to bounce right onto Amazon?
No, so why don't we talk about, hey guys, just want to let you guys know that, oh,
I
you were here last
was,
time, Mark.
yeah.
So what we want to tell you guys is obviously every Saturday we're going to be doing the Amazon picks. Obviously, we're trying something new. And then on Sundays, we're trying out something new too. We're trying out a Q&A. So it's going to be 30 minutes. We're going to be talking about a specific topic, and then we're going to be answering questions. And
That's
that's the
for
point of it.
Sunday, correct,
That's for
Sean?
Sunday. Every
Just to
Sunday at 6
clarify. So
p.m.
Sunday we'll do a Q&A, and we'll take meaning the only theme, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Sean. The theme of Sunday will be literally any question. So we're not going to adhere to a specific topic. We're going to bounce around based on the audience questions. Is that correct?
Yes. So the
Okay.
whole point of the Q&A, I mean, we'll talk about a specific topic, but at the end of the day, it's all about you guys. So we want to make sure that we answer as many questions as possible from the audience, and that's the whole
Wow,
point of it for
Sean,
Sundays.
you're a giver. I like
Mm,
that. You just said it's
yes,
all about them.
of course.
That's nice.
That's the whole point of the live streams. The live streams is about the audience, not about us.
It's not about us?
No, no.
So, with that said, this evening, would you like to bounce on the Amazon? Because honestly,
Yeah,
there's a question that came up last week that I'd like to address briefly, but we can delay that a bit.
yeah. So we'll jump into the Amazon. I kind
Okay.
of want to go back to where we left off in interior car detailing products.
How about this? I got something to throw at you.
Okay.
Are you going to pull up Amazon on your screen?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So this was under the context of two things. One, Amazon, shopping for detail products on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That was
Yes.
almost rhetorical. But with that said, it was also in showing guys how to save money.
Right.
And that can mean a lot of things. So, for example, and this is rather random, but what popped into my head when I first started out, one of the things, and got to remember for all those tuning in, I started before the internet. I started way before Amazon, so none of this existed. So, point being is I had to improvise. I also had to improvise because I was working on a very tight budget. So one of the default things that I did was I defaulted to using toothbrushes instead of dedicated detailing brushes. I suspect you can get a package of toothbrushes pretty cheap when you compare to dedicated toothbrush style detailing brushes. What's your thought, Sean? Do you think that's a valid hypothesis on my part? Meaning, I've never bought because like I actually use an electric toothbrush at home, and I buy
Yeah.
my replacement heads at Costco. So it's one of the few things I do not shop for on Amazon. But with that said, is I have bought some of the dedicated industry default detail brushes that are, styled like a toothbrush. So here we are, you're pulling up, and we've got a whole plethora of choices. Anything from, for example, oh, those are individually wrapped toothbrush. Okay, bulk. So I'm looking over to the right hand screen. Oh, actually, right in the middle, we got 496 for how many toothbrushes in that pack?
Six. Six.
Okay, six. So do the math. That's less than $1 a pop.
Yeah.
Okay, so two things. One, can you bounce to, let's say, if you typed in detail brush, why don't you type in detail brush toothbrush style? I wonder what would come up. Hey, Craig Fiore. Was that a typo, Craig? Because I was trying to figure out what an acronym of YDS is. So yes on something I said. I suspect. You see, everything's bundled together so far. What you're pulling up, for example, on the right hand side, you have those dusting
Yeah,
brushes
I
as
saw
well
it.
as yeah. But
Yeah,
honestly, that's pretty damn cheap.
yeah, that is cheap.
like,
But
like
you can use
seriously,
that as an example because actually all these things right here, I have them. I own them.
that specific brand or that specific type. There's a
I own
distinction
I own
there.
I own a cheap version of this or something similar to that. So
Okay.
I have those three toothbrush style of detailing brushes. I also have the
Dusting brushes.
dusting brushes, and I have those green ones that you gave those to me.
Yes, Craig. Typo. Click on that picture, Sean. Because what will happen, or it should, is that Amazon will offer other suggestions. So if you scroll down, 10 pieces, like literally 10 pieces. You know what? Hey, by the way, since we're talking about budget, have you noticed a theme lately on Amazon? Like literally everything's on sale.
Yeah,
Now, now I'm not a big fan of sales. And what I mean by that is, of course, I love when things go on sale. But when you go into, for example, like a female mind, they rationalize every purchase and say, oh, looky, I saved 17%. It's like, it's so hypothetical. But point being is, have you noticed that theme, Sean, where everything I'm shopping for within the past week and a half specifically, it seems like every supplier, manufacturer, whatever you want to call them, everything's on sale.
yeah. You know why, right?
Well, yeah, because
Yeah,
this thing called this shitty economy that we seem to
yeah.
be living in,
Right.
well,
So
it's just transitory. It's just transitory, though. It's
well,
not
it's
going
because
to last.
no one is buying anything, so try to make it seem like everything is cheaper, but in reality, it's not.
Well, if you recall, like over 2 years ago, they claimed that this economy, the inflation was transitory. It was meaning
Yeah.
it wasn't going to last, and here we are,
Right.
2+ years later, and it's like, oh, it's only it's only become worse.
Right.
Okay, so back on topic, toothbrushes. So one thing I found, because I'm just old AF and I've been at detailing for so long. So, for example, back in the day when I would buy toothbrushes to use for detailing, I was able to find hard toothbrushes. So, I don't know if people will know this, but because nowadays, because of the whole dentist industry, they really have trained us to only buy toothbrushes that are soft bristles. So back in the day, I think they called them firm versus hard bristles.
Yeah.
I wanted firm because the soft bristles, when you're trying to scrub carpeting or scrub dirt on the interior or whatever you're scrubbing, really, the soft bristles of a toothbrush are really just too gentle. But because I've repurposed them into the world of detailing, I want stiff.
Right.
Stiff can be really good. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yes, that's an euphemism. But in the context of
It says.
toothbrushes,
I was like, Darren. Somebody's saying the volume is too low. Hey, Brian,
uh,
is it whose volume? Is it Darren's volume or my volume? I'm guessing Darren, right?
do I sound different today to you, Sean? I
You
just
sound
moved
the
my
same. You
mic a
sound the
little
sa-
closer.
you sound the same to me.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Maybe Brian. Maybe you
Ground
want to.
control to. Anyhow, well, I suspect they can still hear us. And when Brian chimes in and lets us know if it's my volume or your volume, I mean, everything I've got set up is exactly how it was last weekend. But oh, Darren's. So
Okay.
I'm the error.
Well,
Sean, does this distort when I put it closer to my mouth?
no,
No.
no.
Okay, well, I'll try it. It's now closer, Brian. You can let me know if this is coming in louder. So, Sean, that's the point. So, trying to save money, like literally based on this example, I'm not even sure you could really save money shopping for off-label use of toothbrushes.
Ah,
Yeah, low
Craig is
volume.
saying low volume too.
I
Huh.
wonder what's up with mine then.
Go to your settings
Yeah.
and then go to audio.
Okay, audio echo cancellation.
Click that off.
Oh, there we go.
Freshman,
That's
is
better.
it?
That's better. That's way better.
Okay, party people. Now it's
That
probably
is
too
way
close, huh?
better. That was, yeah. That just improved like dramatically.
Okay, well that's good to know. And by the way, it's I guess in these settings I've got to adjust them every single time, which
Yep.
okay.
It makes sense because I'm the host and you're the guest. And well, anyways.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of this so that I can replicate these settings for next week or tomorrow actually. Haha. Did you not
Yeah.
you didn't catch that little typo in my
Oh
delivery
yeah,
video?
yeah, because it's tomorrow. Yes, see
Yeah.
that's I know this is way better.
Yes,
Yeah,
way better. Thank you,
yeah,
Brian, and thank you,
yeah,
Craig, for.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man,
That was 9 day difference.
this technology is gonna like completely fry my brain, which is
Yeah,
funny, because people my age, or I should say, people that are young. Let's say if you're under the age of 30, they would call me a boomer. Now, officially, I'm 1 year away from being an official boomer. Yeah, Planet X. Thanks.
yeah,
Um, but it's a derogatory term, right? Hey, boomer, as in you're just a normie, but you're a boomer normie because I don't understand technology. And so whenever my kids try to throw that down, it's like, okay, bring it on, man. I will run circles around you when it comes to technology. So that's just a little sidebar. Anyhow, so back to the toothbrushes. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, Sean? Meaning, back in the
yeah,
day, you could buy toothbrushes that were firm and they worked great for detailing. But the whole dentistry industry, where they've wanted us to back off on the aggressiveness when we're doing our oral hygiene, and so all the toothbrushes are soft bristles and yeah, they have their place in the world of detailing, but they're too soft. For example, yeah, I was just going to ask you if you could look that up and see if they even exist anymore. Wow, look at that contraption. Scroll back up to that little video. It's like a double-sided. Well, that's interesting.
probably a scam.
Well, why? I mean, seems like it's legit, meaning it makes sense, right?
Well, for auto detailing is useless.
Oh, I was
I
actually
mean,
referring to my teeth.
yes,
I
when
like my
it's,
teeth.
I know,
I
but I
like
want
to
to kind of
take
stick to
care
the
of my
subject.
teeth. What's that?
I kind of want to stick to the subject to help other
Yeah, I
people.
know. All right, so
Okay.
toothbrushes. Hey, any of you guys have ways that you save money by shopping outside of the industry of detailing? And maybe because typically I would go outside of the industry for two reasons. One, I could replicate what the industry is trying to sell me, but I could do it for less money. Or two, the industry failed to produce something I needed, so therefore I had to go out of the industry in order to find it. So those are the two reasons. Darren, I have an echo. Thanks, Craig. Let me see if I can.
You may have to go to settings and remove and put the echo
Let's
cancellation.
let's try. Okay, I just engaged it. Do I sound different, Sean? At least to your ears?
To me, you sound fine, but to the audience, you might sound differently.
Yeah. So I just did echo cancellation. Although it says reduce echo when talking without headphones, but here I am with a headphone. So
I
you
just
can let me
I
know,
just
Craig. I did engage or disengage the echo. Can't actually. What did I do? Did I engage or disengage?
probably engaged it.
Probably.
So I engaged mine just in case it was me.
Okay, what I did is when we first got notice that my audio was too low, I engaged the echo cancellation. So
It said it
now
fixed it.
I
It's fixed. It's
okay,
fixed.
so I disengaged it now. So now I got to update my picture. So echo cancellation, no bueno. Noise suppression apparently is good. Okay, so any of you party people out there, do you guys have your go-to moments as far as shopping for tools that are outside of the industry? I mean, brushes, we all need brushes to detail cars with. And I bet a lot of you guys are like me where you can never have too many brushes because I am of the opinion that the perfect tool really can exist. And often you don't know what the perfect tool is because it's kind of under the category of you don't know what you don't know. And so you might be using a scrub brush and you get overwhelmed because there's like 100,000 different types of brushes, brush heads, bristle length, bristle stiffness, bristle construction. I mean, they're endless, which is kind of the good news, but it's overwhelming. But what I do know is that when you find the perfect tool for the job, it's going to make your life so much better. And detailing by nature is hard. It's hard on your body. And so that's one thing, like when I'm training new guys, yeah, I see that, Sean. Let me
Yeah.
finish this thought.
Yep.
When I'm training new guys, I will tell them it's like you do not underestimate how hard detailing is, and do not underestimate how much better your life can be if you get the right products, the right tools, and you learn the right techniques because you're already going about something that's naturally going to be hard, which means you don't want to make it harder by using inferior tools or tools that just aren't effective. So with that said, this is Ed. Hey, Ed. Harbor Freight handheld pump sprayer for 5 versus 50. Like $50? Like I don't know if I've ever spent a handheld pump sprayer. I suspect that you're referring just to
I
basic
know. I
pump
know what he's
style
talking about.
sprayers.
Yeah.
In fact, look that up, Sean,
Yep.
because you
I'm
can
on it.
spend a small fortune. And I'll tell you what I use. Um, no, that's. I don't think he's referring to that. Just go
What is
to
he?
a pump sprayer head. Just type in pump sprayer head. Yeah. Okay, just do sprayer heads. 32 ounce bottle sprayer heads.
Oh, okay. Those. Okay.
There we go. Okay, so for example, you see those. Okay, we've got. See, this is a perfect example when I talk about the right tool. Those sprayer heads in the middle, the colorful ones,
Yeah.
um, those sprayer heads are pretty good. But see, what I may need to make a distinction is when I say pretty good, I could be referring to how much product it can deliver,
Right.
the way it can deliver the product, but how about ergonomics, as in how it feels in your hand? So those sprayer heads, even though I actually have a large hand, I wear large gloves, those sprayer heads, the gap between where you pump and the downspout is actually a little wide. And so ergonomically, as far as the user experience, those are a little less friendly in my opinion. And what's so funny is pretty much every one of these sprayer heads will claim to be chemical resistant. And so guys will kind of naturally lean into that. I have found that just so far seem to be BS. Like I basically don't even pay attention to that. So scroll down a little bit, Sean. See what other things we have. From Reunion Island. I have no idea where Reunion Island is. Do you, Sean?
I do not, but I do. I can always Google it.
I've learned. I was just going to look it up myself because I love geography, and I'm curious. I've never heard of like when I'm watching you when I'm binge watching on YouTube, and they talk about a region of the um, or the world. I want to look it up. Reunion Island. Well, wow. I don't know. It says Department of France. There's quite a few apparently. So I don't know. I don't know what to say, but glad you're here, Mr. David Dame. Wow, that is a long name. Okay,
Yeah, it's a long name. Yeah.
like an IK foamed is $35, I think. See if you could type that in, Sean. See if what
Okay.
comes up if you do IK foamed sprayer head. I've never heard of that. Why don't you just do foam sprayer head?
Oops, I'm typo. 1 second.
Oh, there we go. No, you found it.
Okay.
Okay, so he's talking about a pump type of dispenser, which those are very handy. So that's a non-traditional sprayer head. So this is a pump. You put in your chemical solution. That's what is that? 35 ounces. Yeah. So those are very effective. Honestly, my go-to, if you put in a 1 gallon sprayer, put in this, Sean, 1 gallon. So that's $35 or that's $39. 1 gallon chemical sprayer, or put in 1 gallon chemical pump sprayer. Okay. So there's one that I'm not going to remember the name of it. It's got two initials. Go down. Oh wait, it looks okay. There's one of them I've tried, which is the Chapin. Um,
Yeah.
that's $14. I mean, and look how many reviews there are. 83,000 reviews. That's kind of insane. But I've tried one of those, and they work great. It's so low budget.
Yeah.
And do you know? I don't know if you remember, Sean, but I used those when I was training you. Do you
Yep.
remember?
Well, I don't remember the brand, but I own one of these. I actually
You,
own two of them.
yeah.
Not this brand, but I own something similar to this.
So, oh, French islands in the Indian Ocean. That's cool. I wish I could say that long ass name of yours, David, but that's a whole lot of mouthful. French island in Indian Ocean. That's a first. So I keep two of these also, Sean. One would be for the wheel cleaner,
Yeah.
and then one would be their typically a super degreaser, like a heavy duty
Hmm.
degreaser that I would use for engines.
Yep.
Do you remember why I taught you to use these, Sean? It
Because it's
has to,
faster.
yes, it has to do with efficiency.
Yep.
Because what you learn very quickly when you're detailing is that you go through disturbing amounts of wheel cleaner and degreaser if you're doing engines. So if you're using a traditional sprayer head with a just a 32-ounce bottle in it,
Yeah.
I mean you're gonna feel a burn on your forearm
Yeah.
because you're
Your
just
hand
trying to
hurts.
dispense so much volume of chemical. So these are so perfect because now you can fill up like, well, these are probably gallon size, right? Yeah, 1 gallon size,
Yeah.
and there's a fill line on them, and I don't remember how much that is. I always overfilled mine because I would just accept that I wanted more liquid, and I would just need to pump it up more frequently. But you can dispense so much liquid with these, and they're so much more efficient, which efficiency is always going to translate into profitability. And who among us does not want to be more profitable versus less profitable, right? I mean,
Yep.
is that unanimous, everyone? We want to be more profitable, not less profitable. So I'm all about efficiency, how to get from point A to point B in a quicker amount of time while still producing the desired results. Bam.
Mhm.
So does anyone else have anything? So this is Ed, Harbor Freight handheld pump sprayer. He got us on this topic. And then, which is a great topic. Like, Sean, did you do many car engines when you were detailing?
Not many. I only did like two.
Yeah. Were you kind of freaked out doing those?
Um, Not really.
Really?
No, not really.
Well,
I
check
just
you out then, because I personally was very freaked out when I first started doing them. In fact, can I can I have your permission, Sean, to insert a real life story?
that's fine.
That was less than convincing.
I'll start the timer.
Well, you can't do that. I'm going to go quickly about it. So,
Okay.
really, what this has to do with not only managing customer expectations, but cover your ass. So, for example, this customer of mine, it was the first time I dealing business with him. He had an old school BMW. It was like a 1960s BMW. It was the two door. I think they called a 635 something. This is so long ago. Anyhow, he wanted the engine detailed. And I thought, I don't know, man. That just seemed very. That was like an accident waiting to happen because when you've got a modern day engine where basically everything is housed and contained, and it's very watertight. Modern day engines. So when you go back into the '60s, it's like the polar opposite. Like very few things were very watertight. So I told him, I said, I will do your engine. I said, but what I advise you to do is ask your mechanic first, which he did do. And he told me, yes, I asked my mechanic, and he said it should be a non-starter, non-problem. Like, don't worry about it, so long as you use common sense. Which I had done plenty of engines. It's just that most of the engines at that time were not in the '60s. They're more like the '90s. Big difference. So the point is I did it as I normally did. I applied a lot of caution. I was cautious around the coil, the spark plugs, and then the cables. So I applied plenty of caution, and I blew it off with a leaf blower after I rinsed it off, which is something I completely recommend that you do. So the leaf blower blows out all the standing water, blows out all the connections to a large degree. I went to turn on the car and it would not start. And then I tried again and again and again, and it would not start. And so it's one of these really awkward moments. But I was so fortunate that I'd covered my ass and that he had asked his mechanic and everything. So in essence, I was off the hook.
Really quick, just to add to my engine cleaning experience.
Yeah.
The reason why I wasn't scared because I was going more for a cosmetic look. I wasn't really trying to detail like the entire engine, like the way you do it.
Yeah.
So I was doing more like make it appear to be clean, but I didn't actually clean it. I don't know if that makes sense. I just did like the surface, like all the plastics.
Yeah.
That's all I did, but I didn't do like a real engine clean.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you know what? I remember now. Like, you actually didn't take the pressure washer or the hose
No.
and totally hose it off. You would just,
No.
like, you would, like, manually just kind of detail
Yeah.
the top. Okay.
Yes.
Big
Yeah,
difference.
it was. That's why. That's what I'm saying. That's why I
Yeah.
wasn't afraid
Okay.
because I knew what I was doing was easy, and it gives the appearance. And I would tell the customer, I would give him a courtesy engine clean.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like
Yeah.
that.
So it's a
I
courtesy.
remember that
and,
now because I
yeah,
think
yeah,
you were doing, I don't know, did you do, the neighbor of mine that you did his
yeah. I
car,
did.
his Ken?
Yeah,
Did you do that to his engine?
I did.
Okay, it's coming back to me now. Hey,
Yeah.
Mark Rizzo.
Yep.
I think that's a name from American Graffiti. Isn't that character's name? Anyhow, what do I use in replace of hyperdressing? Well, really, I'm going to use. You can pick any dressing you want, Mark. What I do is because if you've ever detailed an engine, which you have, but other guys, it's one thing to clean an engine and to degrease it and get it clean, but it's different than doing that and then dressing it. Now, if you are anti-dressing, which I am in many ways, but when it comes to an engine, there's nothing that's going to be as dramatic as a freshly cleaned engine that's dry and has been dressed. It's so stunning because everything just looks so perfect. All the blacks are nice and dark and black and glossy, and there's nothing quite like it. So I'm a big fan of using dressing on engine. So my default is this. I'm going to take any type of water-based dressing, could be hyperdressing, could be VRP from chemical guys, doesn't matter. I'm going to dilute it down because all I'm looking for is a very, very thin coating that I spray on the engine, and I don't touch it once I spray it. So I just want a very thin coating. So I'll dilute my dressing down based on which dressing I'm using, anywhere from 50% down to a dilution ratio of 1 to 10, which means 10 parts water to 1 part dressing. So it's very, very thin in consistency. So that's when I'm doing a full engine. But with that said, is I love, and we talked about this last week, is the aerosol dressings, because those aerosol dressings are so fast, and if you use Stoner, it's such a fine mist that you can just get just perfect results. And so I will use an aerosol dressing very strategically in place of a traditional liquid dressing. So I don't know if that helps at all, Mark, but that's what I do. Now, the aerosol dressings are more expensive, without a doubt, but I can dress an entire engine in 30 seconds or less, and it's such a thin film, and it does exactly what it's intended to do as compared to a traditional dressing, like you mentioned, the hyper dressing. So often, what we'll do is, because you're trying to dispense it from a traditional sprayer, it will tend to kind of pool up in areas and it will be a little whitish. Now, if you just leave it alone, it will eventually evaporate, and it will go from white to just clear glossy. But see, with the aerosol, I don't have to wait for that dry time, and so it's just, that's like everything else. Everything comes with trade-offs. So that's what I do. Echo is back. Ah, man,
Wait, Serial to GTR. Is it again? I'm guessing you're talking about Darren.
I
Is it pretty?
suspect. I
Yeah,
started hearing an echo in my own earpiece, and I literally did nothing.
I don't hear one. I don't hear
Yeah.
any echo at all. So I don't know what it is.
All right. If Mr. GTR guy, if you continue to hear it, then I guess let us know also. Again.
Yeah,
Yeah, my settings are still the same.
yeah. I think it's just the rooms we're in. We don't have studios. We don't have soundproof. Yeah, he's saying it's you.
I don't know. Yes, 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 it's me, and yes, it's still happening. GTR, or yes, you heard us. So there's our like dissertation on pump sprayers, degreasing engines, and dressing engines. It comes and goes. Great.
Maybe
Who?
maybe maybe, maybe the mic is too close to your mouth.
Okay, I just. How about if I put it there? Did that
Uh,
change for you, Sean?
for me, it didn't. For me, it sounds fine, but maybe for them, maybe
Well,
maybe put it.
well, what I'm asking you is, can you hear me any less loud because I just moved it away from my mouth?
When you move your mouth, obviously you don't sound as loud. But maybe the reason why it's echoing because maybe it's too loud. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Comes and goes. All right.
Yeah.
Well, keep us posted. Zero to
Yeah.
GTR. So there's my dissertation on chemical sprayers, engine cleaning, dressing the engine with my choice in dressings. In fact, Sean, do me a favor. Go to Amazon, or, well, you're on Amazon. Go up to the search bar and click in Stoner Trim Shine and see what pulls up. Okay, so as I said last week, I buy mine in the bulk, but this is retail grade stuff, which still works really, really good. So you got one can. The problem with this is they can't. I think they have to send it. They can't send it via air. Like if you click on that Stoner can, Sean. For example, if you lived overseas, they can't ship it to you. Like here in the U.S., if you live in Hawaii or wherever, we have to be shipped by air. I don't think you can get it. That's because it's a compressed aerosol can.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but I'm a huge fan of this. I think I think any of you guys that are listening to this, sounds good now. Thanks, Eric. I think, see, that's a perfect picture, Sean. I don't know if, can you expand that? If you click on it, yeah, there we go. See, that's a perfect illustration. You see that engine bay? That represents a very standard modern day engine. So you have all kinds of plastic shrouding. You've got a plastic shrouding on the intake manifold, which is where it says at 3.6 liter. You've got the plastic shrouding at the very front towards the grill. You've got the intake, the air intake hose, as well as the air intake where the filter would sit. Um, all that's just plastic shrouding, and so when you degrease it and you clean it, it's going to tend to be very blotchy and not look perfect. How about that? That's why, to me, I just don't want to clean an engine if I'm not going to dress it, because it's so dramatic. And now that I'm thinking about it, that would be one of the areas of detailing and dealing with customers that talk about you get a lot of bang for your buck. So for example, let's say I was charging $300 for a detail, and I would ask the customer, hey, I don't know if you thought about it, but I can detail your engine also. And some people were into it, some were not. But I knew I could do an engine very quickly, and I knew the results that I could deliver on most engines. And so I could make and what I would charge them was an extra $50. And I kid you not, when they would come out and see that engine, they would be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." And which is kind of funny because probably a lot of them never even looked at their engine anyways. And I would think that when I'm talking to my customers and I'm upselling them on doing their engine, I don't think I ever had a single one pop the hood of their car and look how dirty their engine was. They just accepted that it was dirty, and so they never really scrutinized their own engine. So after I was done working my magic and they came out, and of course I'm going to show off my work. I've got the hood pop. They come out, they look at the engine, they're like, "Wow!" Like literally, it's one of those moments where people are just blown away. And so many times they'd say like, "Oh my gosh, it looks like I can eat off that engine." So there's a couple of teaching points in that, which is dress those engines when you're done
Yeah.
and upsell, assuming that you feel confident in doing engines. So obviously that's a big caveat if you're not comfortable doing it. But I know that it was very, I would call it literally just easy money. Yeah, was there a certain amount of stress? I guess because you're always worried, thinking that something could go wrong. But it just really is not the case with modern day engines, at least in my experience. Do primer polishes work better for prep before a ceramic coating? I do not actually understand that question. Primer polishes. I can only speculate that what you mean, GTR guy, is maybe polishes that
I think he's talking about your like like paint corrections kind of stuff, like polishing.
that's what I'm thinking. So like
Yeah.
a stage one versus a
Yeah.
stage two, a
Yeah.
primer polish. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to answer that, GTR guy. Um,
Well,
I
I can
mean,
answer a question. I can answer a question.
okay.
Yes is the answer.
Yeah. Well, I was
Yes.
just gonna say the reality is if you are really putting a coating on a car, whatever the condition of the paint is, you're gonna seal that in. So any kind of polishing you want done or that you would think to do is always going to be recommended because you want to perfect or enhance or improve the paint finish as much
Hmm.
as you can prior to
Oh, okay.
putting a coating on it. Like a C6 APP. Okay, sorry, dude, but I'm lost on that one. C6 APP. I don't know. I and is this me just speaking from possibly lack of experience? I don't know, buddy. I don't know what that is. See, look it up. See what pops up, Sean.
It's not gonna be on Amazon. I'll Google it.
Yeah,
Hold on a second.
APP. I don't know what that would. I don't know what that would be.
Oh, I see it. It's a ceramics coating.
Um,
Here it
okay.
is. I found it.
So it's a brand or a type of ceramic coating. Honestly, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what kind of coating you're putting on because that's
Okay.
the
I see it. I'm gonna share the screen with you so you know what it is. It
okay.
says ceramics adhesive promoter polish. I never heard of it till now. So
Oh, okay. So this literally is a dedicated product that is intended to enhance the adhesion of a ceramic coating onto a surface based on what you just described, Sean.
yeah. I just want to see they have it here. They don't have it here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just share the screen with you real quick so people can
Okay.
see what it is. Put sharing screen with.
I would suspect that
There we go.
yeah, ceramics adhesion promoter polish. Interesting. I mean, honestly, I would say that that's probably just hype. I mean, but I can't really comment precisely because I would have to read the ingredients. I'd want to see what kind of chemistry they're using, or is it just marketing hype? So I don't know, Sean. Can you click on the bottle and
Oops.
see if there's a
Sorry.
description?
Yeah, I'll go
It's
back.
fine.
Sorry. I thought you
That's
were
right.
done. Okay, how's it going?
Like Gion Prime, Gion. Yeah. I'm not surprised that these companies don't have prime. I mean, I'm just not surprising at all that there's not primers. And see, this is in the world of everything where you get these words that are kind of catch-alls. It's like, oh, it's a primer. It's like, well, let's define what a primer is. I mean, we know what the intended purpose is. C6, it's the company's name, yeah. So the primer, it makes sense, but you could prime in a lot of ways because really you're looking for maximum adhesion. And so what do you want to do? You want to correct the paint for imperfections. You want to make sure that the paint surface is free of any type of residue that would interfere with the application. So really I'm going to default to the manufacturer of the coating that I'm applying. Yeah, marketing LOL. That's for damn sure, Mark.
Yeah, I
So
agree
really,
100%. Yeah,
what's that
I agree 100%.
about the marketing?
Yeah, there's all, but it
Yeah, they're
sounds
always
fancy. It
they're
sounds
always going to
fancy.
find a way to separate you guys from more of your money. I mean, it's as simple as that. So, and that's what I was leading into is that I would decide what coating I want to apply. And then I would follow that manufacturer's directions on what they recommend. How do I prep the surface of the paint? Really, I would follow their directives because I'm going to apply their coating. I don't think anyone would know better than the company itself. Now, does that mean they're not going to try to sell you products that are not necessarily that aren't necessary? Chances are they will, but that's where only you can decide if it's marketing hype or it's legit. But the bottom line is I'm going to follow their directions as to how they want me to prepare the surface and whatever products those are. And then it would come to your ability to see through the marketing hype and say like, oh wow, literally I could just use alcohol. Once I polish the surface, I can do an alcohol wipe down or whatever. It's very expensive. Yeah, alcohol. Yeah, it's it's gonna really wreck your bank account, isn't it?
Well, I actually, Darren, there's a product that I want to bring up
Yeah.
that you gave me some
Oh
a
yeah.
while back ago, and I love this stuff, and I'm going to share with you right now. And once you see it, you'll know what it is.
Okay. My mentally I'm salivating because I can't wait. What solution finish?
Yeah,
Yeah. So okay. So this we just dramatically shifted topics here.
oh, yeah, I did.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm on the same page. So yes, solution finish. You know what? In fact, any of you guys that are tuning in right now, I want to know if any of you have used solution finish on the interior of your car. So for example, Sean, on some of these vehicles, and I'm gonna call out Chrysler on this. To me, like Jeep and Chrysler, which are kind of synonymous perhaps. Um, it's so convoluted, that car world. They make some pretty cheap plastics for the interior. And what happens when they're black or really dark gray and you use a cleaner on it, it can really dry the crap out of some of these plastics. And so while solution finish is not labeled for interior use, I was out in the field one day working on a car and I even tried putting dressing on the black plastic because it was so dried out and it just would not cover it up. It would not restore it. And I laid on the dressing thick and I tried to get it to soak. It just wouldn't work. So what I did, and actually I put solution finish in one of the segments of my course. It's like my survival kit. And I have solution finish as part of my survival kit because in that moment, I was so glad I had it with me because I busted it out. I cleaned off all the dressing first and I used the solution finish on the inside of the interior on the door panels, and my word, it came out amazing. And I suspect, Sean, you've never done that. You probably just use it for the exterior, right?
Yeah, I've used it for my car. I've used it for the windshield wiper area,
Yeah.
and I've used it for the engine, like the plastics inside.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great product.
Yeah,
And Chris West, the developer of it, of course, he's a great guy. Big fan of Chris. Anyhow,
yeah.
so
Him and his daughter are pretty cool.
no, they are definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We've already blazed through 50 minutes. Is that true?
Yep.
Wow. What the W? What the what? Liz Lemon.
Well, I was going to ask the audience, hey, you guys, don't be afraid to ask any question you want, even if it's not related to the topic we're talking about. This is your time to take advantage of Darren and ask as many questions as you want.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been violated and taken advantage by anyone. So, so, so feel free to violate me with your questions. You know what,
Yeah.
Sean? We I think I've talked to you about this before. Um, is I want to have a segment where we can label it something like "Ask Darren Anything," like literally
Yeah.
anything. Anything. It would be a anything goes moment. An open bottle. I've had it for years. Well, Mark, I mean, in a way, that's kind of the good news. The good news meaning that you've never been required to open that bottle, or never found yourself in a situation where you needed to open it. So, I don't know what to tell you, but I can tell you it's a great product. Marketing, there are more and more new products, but in the end, paint and varnish have never evolved. The old solutions are still valid. I never buy a new product again until I've finished the bottles. Well, that's a good strategy. I would love to hear him say his own name, which that is a long, like that. Just that first name looks like it's three names combined into one. So two, three, four, five, six. I don't know. That's all foreign to me. I guess it's French based on what he's told us. Anyhow, so Sean, do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
We're at 52 minutes. And we're going to tune in. So, hey, you party people out there, if you want to tune back in tomorrow night, 6 o'clock,
Wait.
I was going to get to that,
Okay.
but I want to stay on
Okay.
point. So,
Okay.
tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, you guys, bring your questions. And I
Yeah.
will state this yet again. The quality of your questions will largely determine the quality of your life, which means the better you can ask your question, the better I can deliver an answer for you. So, what do I think of 303? I've used their product for many years. It's been a few years, and it was part of my arsenal, but I don't know if you're trying to compare it to Solution Finish because they're very different. Unless I do not, maybe I'm not aware. Sean, before we go, can you
Yeah.
type in 303
Yeah. Of course.
and see if they actually have a trim restore that's comparable to Solution Finish? Because they have different protectants that are kind of like an Armor All type of protectant. It's a spray, but maybe they've developed like a true. You know what? In fact, I did a video on this. So, for example, I did a lot of RVs, and RVs have what do you call the solar panels? So, most modern day RVs have solar panels on top. So, I would clean those solar panels on the top of an RV when I'm detailing them. And I would also use Solution Finish. So, for example, on a top of RV, they've got a lot of components. They can have a satellite dish. They can have different vent covers. The point is there's quite a few materials up there that you can address specifically, from plastic covers to like painted satellite covers to moon roof, so plastic shaded moon roofs, and then they would have solar panels. So it's like you clean a solar panel, but do you want to protect it? So I made a post, and it was either a video or a post, or maybe both. Point is the 303 will say it protects from UV lighting. So my question was is if I put this 303 coating on the solar panel, will it diminish the amount of electricity or current that it can produce because now I've applied it to it? But I did a deep dive via AI and found out that the solar energy is captured through infrared, not UV lighting. So therefore, I think it would render it not an issue. But that's a
Uh,
deep dive for another time.
got a couple more questions before we head out there. Actually, there's a lot more people inside here right now.
Oh, okay. So, well, Mark, yeah, thumbs up. McGuire's Express Wax on my interior. Yes, I still love that. And then we've got Adam's Graphene Spray is my favorite ceramic-like coating. Easier than Fuso coat, but similar
Wait,
protection.
you skip one. I
My
just put it on
name
the
is
screen.
my name is a joke from by lying dog-headed pony soldier. I translate it from English to French. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
My name is a joke from. So he lying dog-headed pony. That's funny AF. Adam's graphene spray is my favorite ceramic like coating. That's where I would wonder what you mean by that, Tom H. So when you say ceramic like coating, I guess
It's a
okay.
spray.
Oh,
It's a spray.
that's what he
Yeah.
means. So it's a spray.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a what I would call a maintenance product versus a true ceramic coating that you apply. Okay. I personally, Tom, I don't have experience with either of those. Although with that said, I am actually a fan of Adam's products.
Yeah.
Um, and I said that last week that really there's so many good products out there. It's really hard to go wrong. And as a beginner, you don't know what you don't know. So if you're just testing out new products and you're having success with it, you're probably going to find another product that you will have success with. But there's going to be nuances about it. Maybe the way it smells, maybe the way it creates a vapor trail or doesn't create a vapor trail. You just all these nuances will determine which products that you lean into because a lot of these products are so hard to really quantify. Like, oh, how long is this product really working? Whether it's a wax or a ceramic coating, there's a lot of stuff that's really hard to quantify. So often it comes down to you having to trust the manufacturer's labeling and what they say, like, oh, get 3 to 6 months of protection out of it. Maybe, maybe not. And then the nuances of the user experience. What's the smell like? Does it want to like fry your lungs? Does it burn your skin? Does it irritate your skin? Does it produce the results you want? How cost effective it is? So all those things will determine, like, so for example, to bounce back on a solution finish, when I'm training new guys, and I don't know if you remember this, Sean, but it was one of my iron rules. Never, ever, ever take that bottle inside of an interior if you're going to use it on the interior like I did.
Yeah.
And
I remember.
always, always, always recap it when you're doing it. And I know no
Yeah.
guy will do this. And so if you're not going to recap it, because that stuff is literally a stain. And
Yeah.
so if you have an accident with solution finish and you spill it on a person's driveway, you're pretty much screwed. It's probably going to leave a shadow on the driveway. Now, because I am so hyper vigilant in mitigating my liability and risk, I would take extra caution. So what I would do is I would have the bottle and I would place it on a designated place when I'm using it. So if I'm treating the black trim on the exterior of a car, I'm going to make sure every single time that I apply some to my cloth or my applicator pad, I'm going to put that bottle in a safe place. Now, there's probably some guy out there listening to me talk about this, and they're going to say, oh, why just hold the bottle in my hand? Well, I'm right there with you until I realized that I had a tendency to become hyper-focused on where I was applying it, and often I would find myself starting to tilt this hand unknowingly because I'm so hyper-focused on where I'm applying it. So that's where I learned that I just need to be more patient because haste makes waste. That cliche saying exists for a reason. And so I would place it in a dedicated spot that I knew I could not kick with my feet or that I could not tip over. And that was just me knowing that the extra time spent to manage that in a very safe way was worth it to me. Okay, so we got Foddy Dog. I wonder what that means. I've been using it on my 2 Sierra since day one to keep from having to restore. Good point, Foddy Dog. My Rolex Stoner Hybrid ceramic detail, very slick, and the smell is fantastic. That's a good point, Eric, and we've talked about that already, which is, and I'm a very visceral person, which means my senses, visual, smell, hearing, everything is kind of hyper attuned. And so, and I've got a product that smells super good. And by super good, meaning I want to like drink this stuff because it smells so tasty. I'm gonna thumbs up that all day long because I just like the user experience. Meaning, if I'm gonna be working my ass off detailing a car, which I am, it's like why not have some of the user experience that I can benefit from? Obviously, Johnny customer is not going to care what this product smells like unless they can actually, there's some kind of residual smell, which generally there's not going to be. But if I'm using it, I want it to smell good. Not always possible, but whenever it's present, thumbs up.
We have a question you kind of skipped. It's okay. It's not your fault about convertible tops.
Oh no, it is my fault.
Okay.
What
Okay.
is the best product to use to water repellent? Well, I can only tell you what I used. Mr. Something Dog
Yeah.
Bidens.
Yeah.
I would use, oh man, DuPont. Can you look it up, Sean?
Yep. I'm on it.
DuPont Fabric Guard. It's an
Uh,
aerosol, and they make all kinds of versions. And this is where marketing hype comes in. So they got a version that you can spray on your carpeting for dog odors. They got a version you can spray on your couch. They got all kinds of versions. That does not look like the one I'm familiar with. Maybe it's not DuPont. What is the default? Okay, go to the top, Sean, and just
yeah.
put. Maybe I can just find it through process of elimination. Just put Fabric
Final.
Guard. How about
Okay. Okay.
Fabric
Fabric guard.
Guard? See what pops up. Shoot, it's a name brand product. I thought it was made by DuPont, but that picture is not doing anything for me. Scroll down. Oh, there it is. Scotch Guard. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, that's
Yep.
what I would use, Mr. French Islands guy. So just, yeah, and you did clarify. See what he did, Sean? His question.
Yeah.
He made a distinction because not all convertible tops are created equal. You've got fabric convertible tops, and you've got what I would call
Vinyl.
vinyl.
Yeah. Vinyl. Yeah.
So vinyl would be, because vinyl naturally is watertight, it's not porous like a fabric convertible top. So you need a product that's suited for that type of material. So that was good that he asked that in that way. So that's what I would call a good question because you were specific. Anyone used clean? Yeah, that's pretty ambiguous there. 0 to GTR guy. Looking for a quick detailer drying agent or drying aid. Sorry, Sean. I really like the Stoner Hybrid ceramic detailer. Very slick, and the smell is fantastic. I have not tried that. I want to try that now. Can you look that up, Sean?
Yeah.
Stoner
Yeah. I can.
Hybrid ceramic
Yep.
detailer. It's so funny, these companies. They just want to put ceramic in everything,
Of course.
everything that they label now. Ooh, it's
That's the new.
ceramic.
That's because it's a new trend.
Now I get it. A trend that's really so worn out nowadays. The best is to get a hard top. I don't know, GTR guy. I'm a big fan of convertibles. I had a lot of guys probably think they're chick cars, and they do add additional weight to a car. So if you're a sports enthusiast and you really want your car like maximum output, you're not going to want to get a convertible because you've got where the manufacturer has to add additional reinforcement, so it's going to add additional weight. So I get that component of it, but I love the sun. And anyhow, did you find it, Sean?
It's right here.
Oh, right in the middle.
I think so.
That packaging looks so much like the turtle wax, with the black.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's see. That only has 81 reviews. It averages 4 stars, which is pretty good. I mean, when it comes to reviews, that's pretty tough. I don't know. I'm very skeptical. I'm very cynical when it comes to these reviews.
Yeah, I don't
Anyhow,
trust it.
now that we've just blazed through another 15 minutes, um, Tom, looking for a good quick detailer drying aid. Man, it's like my brain is on overload because there's so many products out there. And honestly, I see you and I, Sean, we made our own quick detailer and drying aid with Tom's CSI ceramics, or I'm
Yep.
sorry, Q7 wax.
Yeah, Kisan wax.
So we made our own, and that's what we were doing, and that's when I was part of CSI. And there's so many new products that have come out, so I don't really have a go-to product that I can recommend for you, Tom. My bad on that one. Honestly, I feel like there's so many good products you could almost like wave a stick anywhere, and you're gonna land on something that's pretty good.
But Tom, something we can do is if there's a question we don't have the direct answer to, we can do some research and get back to you on that one.
Yeah, would be Seal and Shine Turtle Wax. You know, Turtle Wax had a product out years ago that was my favorite, which is weird. I never admitted it to anyone. It was their wash and wax product, and they've gone through so many iterations in their product labeling and their product, the packaging. It's so hard to keep up what is what. And now they have like 100 million types of products, so it's really hard to narrow things down. And they're certainly not all created equal, so some of them definitely work better than others as far as the user experience. Johnny Customer in French, it's less elegant. We talk about the housewife under 50 inches. This is the standard customer. That's funny. Actually, did he mean 50 inches, or did he mean, is that supposed to be apostrophe or quotation marks? See, he put Johnny Customer in quotation marks, and I don't know, the housewife under 50. Does that mean under 50 as far as the age, I suspect? How do you
I
translate
suspect
that, Sean?
I suspect that's what it is.
Yeah, housewife under 50. So it's kind of a catch-all, like my Johnny Customer, 50 years old. Wow, he's really responsive.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, now we can end it.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And once again, if you want to bring your very specific questions tomorrow night, we're going to take this for a test drive and see how it goes tomorrow night. But we're going to really just focus on your guys' questions specifically. How
Yeah.
did I do on that, Sean? Does that sound on point?
Sounds good. Remember, it's 6 p.m. Pacific time.
All right, Sean, thank you for your help. And you guys, thank you for your input. And we will see you tomorrow night. If not, we'll see you next weekend.